Hey everyone, welcome to Spaceman Learns Episode 2, and I'm just going to start right away. So this time, I'm going to be watching a Zerg versus Terran game, and I'm very excited to get involved. So, again, like the last one I casted, I'm not quite sure the quality of the players that we're about to watch. I have no idea what's going to go on with this game, so it's going to be very experimental, but we'll see what happens. And as always, if I make any comments that are inaccurate or I say things that are not quite, probably what the Terran or Zerg player might actually be thinking in the moment, let me know, because I'm happy to learn and I like to learn. And if I'm looking at something wrong, I would like to improve that. So right now it looks pretty normal. Looks like our Terran player, you know what, I should do proper introductions here. I'm going to pause it. Our Terran player, I guess, is J1 EMG. I'll call him J1. Against our Zerg player, Underground. And I'm going to look at the whole map just because I want to take a look at the map. So, let's see, we have a nice big open starting area that's been elevated, a good natural with a good choke, and then a bridge over there, another path to another natural, but there's a second opening to it. Okay, so typically, I guess we'll see these three bases taken, and then this is probably a very highly contested area. I don't think it's going to be easy for either player to take that, though, so I imagine there won't be a whole lot of action going on right there. I'll unpause the game now. I'm going to bring this back up, and we have a Zerg player. He's not started a spawning pool yet, so it doesn't look like we're seeing anything too cheesy. The Overlord is scouting north, so that's a good play. Moving ridiculously slowly, as Overlords do. No, that's okay. Ladno ya ushal he says, which is a language I am not at all familiar with. Underground responds with good luck, and I I do understand that part. And the first supply depot is coming down. Also not walling off the entrance to the base, which I thought would be what a Terran player would always do against Zerg. I guess you're not afraid of Zergling run-bys early on a map like this, or maybe just the meta, it's so far out of the meta that he doesn't expect some early aggression. I'm surprised. I thought that was something you do almost every game against Zerg players. In Starcraft 2, it absolutely is. So here we do have a barracks going down. Looks like the first Marines will be coming out, and an SCV is going out to do some scouting as well. We have a quick hatchery coming down from the Zerg, so that makes sense. I believe that, I know in StarCraft 2 the general consensus was that Zerg always wanted to be on one more base than their opponents. I imagine that was carried over from Brood War, so I think that this is probably a pretty standard thing to see. Over here it looks like we're finally about to scout each other. An SCV and drone cross paths. Say hi and keep running. Probably not who they were hoping to run into. Overlord scouting out, probably going to hover over the high ground or over the water to try and get some vision if Marines try and sneak by. Gas is already out from the Zerg player, and looks like our spawning pool's coming up. Still no gas from the Terran. We're seeing another supply depot, just more workers. The first Marine has emerged, and it's going to scare this drone out. Yeah, it's still looking pretty standard. Hatchery is almost up, so is the spawning pool. Oh, I have to sneeze. And it's not going to come, and now I'm just making weird faces on webcam. Yeah. This gas is really coming for the Zerg, though. I'm not sure. Maybe 200 gas. Is there a specific timing here? I want to see if he researches something as soon as this finishes. Yeah. So he's getting what looks to be like movement speed to me. Didn't require that much gas, though, so he still probably has a plan for this extractor, because he did get it quite early, and the Zerglings are not enough to just, there it is, he starts his tech to lair. Okay, that's probably because we're going to be seeing Mutalisks. This looks like a good map for Mutalisks because there are so many high ground, low ground points. There are rivers and bridges, lots of areas for the Mutalisks to take advantage of the impassable terrain for the Marines, right? That Overlord might get shut down soon. An SCV gets in to see the tech timing. I'm sure that's what he was looking for, and that's a big find for him. We have a couple Zerglings trying to scare it out, but it's proving to be a little difficult, I guess. There we go. That should more or less finish the kill. This expansion is now running. Overlords are situated nicely, and we have a couple of Marines starting to move in. I guess we'll see some pressure on the expansion. The human player is now expanded as well. He must have started his command center up here when I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry for that. But we're seeing he has saturated it with a couple SCVs. I'm sure there's going to be more coming. His gas timing is up. We have 2 barracks building Marines and an academy on the way. And it looks like we're about to have a little skirmish. So those Marines that I saw going south, I'm sure did not actually go down to engage the Zerg forces. Instead, they just pulled back, doing a little dance. The Zerglings definitely have movement speed now. They're moving really quickly across the map. And I'm sure they'll be able to pick apart these... Well, this is a reasonable amount of Marines. That's probably too many for this Zergling squad to deal with, but this guy's going down pretty quickly. So here we have some more Zerglings rallied, some more Zerglings in base. This expansion does not have a whole lot of mineral income yet, but he's going straight for the extractor again. This has to be for... Ooh, Hydralisks and Lurkers. I'm so excited. I was literally about to say this has to be for Mutalisks. He's stockpiling gas so that he can build a spire and pump out as many Mutalisks as possible. But Lurkers look much more exciting. Coming from Starcraft 2 and not having played a whole lot of Legacy of the Void, I really haven't seen a whole lot of Lurker play, so I always get really excited seeing them in competitive ladder matches. So our Terran player is throwing in a couple medics now, it looks like. I'm sure he's got stim packs on the way somewhere. Yep, stim packs are almost done. Engineering bay on the way, another barracks. Still pumping out here. No signs of a factory. I think that typically against Zerg you see a lot of bio, because I know Marines do very well against Mutalisks, and I've seen a lot of clips of Marine micro against Lurkers, so I know there's a lot of fighting in general that goes on between those two units. This is going to be an exciting little push. I like seeing the Marines moving in here. 2 medics in the back, and these Zerglings are probably going to cause quite a bit of damage if he's able to get a good flank in behind here. Ooh, this push might catch the sunken colonies on... Oh no, that sunken colony finished, and I guess that's enough to thwart this push. I would have thought that this could power through the 2 sunken colonies pretty easily. But now with the Lurkers out as well, this looks like it's not going to be possible for the Terran player. Even though he does have the scanner sweep, so he can see invisible units, so it's not like these Lurkers are impossible for him to deal with. It's still a very highly defended position, or a very easily defensible position for the Zerg player, so I think this is a good spot. There he goes, gets situated again, and gets nice 2 kills, including a medic. And it looks like the push is about to start into the Terran main. Zergling's moving in to absorb damage, so hopefully the Lurkers can situate... Oh, in the back of the worker line. The bunker's doing a great job of dealing with those Zerglings, especially the fire bats in there. But the Lurkers have gotten into the base. And our Zerg player, Underground, is doing a good job of keeping them separated, so I don't think... Maybe one good scanner sweep could reveal both of these, but this looks like it's going to be a tough spot for the Terran to deal with. He also has to kill them. Let's not forget that. There's the scan. Ooh, 1 Lurker down for a lot of Marines. That's heavy losses. Over here, it looks like we have a standoff on expansion timings. Some more Hydralisks coming out. Lurkers again moving across the base. Ooh, but they get caught by the fire bats. No kills. No kills, but they are thwarted and pushed back. Meanwhile, these 2 Lurkers have 5 kills between them and are still raining a lot of damage down on the Terran player. Let's see, his income's still doing well in his main though. Comfortable over there. He does have a machine shop with a factory. I imagine he's already finished siege mode. If not, I'd be surprised, but I guess siege mode is probably outranging Lurkers, so that's going to be the play. I'm sure he'll set up over here and just siege down once he can get vision. Zerg player looks to be aiming to set up an expansion here finally. I'm sure we'll be seeing a drone. There he goes. What do we have building? Some more drones, an overlord. There's the spire. So we're finally seeing a spire coming out. Another hatchery, so we're going to amp up production a little bit. And it looks like the Terran's going to try a sneaky expansion in the bottom right. Either that, or he is just a scouting SCV who's now sitting over here. Oh, something's going on. Nah, it's just a scouting SCV. So we have 2 lurkers at the front door still. 2 lurkers in the back who are still locking down this command center. Wow. Science facility, but it's just chilling. There's siege mode, so the Terran player didn't even have it yet. Getting some armor upgrades, but I don't think he's liking his position too much right now. I feel like the Zerg has really taken control of this game by, you know, getting these 2, at the time of attacking, 3 lurkers into the expansion. He has just completely cut off this income. And this, I don't have a good eye for it, but this looks probably oversaturated to me. If not oversaturated, it's close. There's the scan, these siege tanks. Finally, the lurkers go down. The command center is going to land, and we're going to start seeing some income again. Yeah, there go the SCVs. But, you know, the damage has been done. I think the Zerg player has got to be way ahead. He got so much value out of those 3 lurkers. Granted, he threw a lot of Zerglings away at the bunker in order to get them in position, but that time just seems like it was too much. And it was enough to get Mutalisks out. So we're having Mutalisks move across the map. It looks like there's 6 of them right now. A couple more queued up. Do we have Queen's Nest there? Okay, where's the Spire? Did I see the Spire over here? There it is. No upgrades coming out of the Spire just yet. Oh! What a catch by the Zerg player. Finds a full Terran dropship and picks it off before it's able to take out the expansion. Which still hasn't, you know, started to paying off in terms of income, but having this hatchery up and in position is such a powerful thing. I know it's for production more than anything, maybe even, but he's looking really comfortable, and the Mutalisk is coming in. Turrets are not on time. Oh, just on time. Look at that timing on the Terran player's part as well. But the magic box mutas are dealing damage. That's a lot of SCV kills right there. Now it's coming around. I'm sure there's going to be a couple of pickups. Ooh. Oh, the Terran player still leading fighting. That's 2 Marines against a lot of Mutalisks. Does not look good. He does move south across the map with a big force, though. He's got science vessels, siege tanks, Marines, medics, even a couple of firebats. So that could be problematic. But I don't know how he's going to deal with all these Mutalisks. I guess he does have a lot of turrets going up, so that'll be effective. Oh, and those 2 lurkers. Lurkers are just the bane of this Terran player right now. He's having a hard time dealing with them. That said, he does manage to successfully punch through, and he's going to take out this 3rd expansion in the same way the Mutalisks are taking out a starport, but that irradiate from the science vessel. There's a science vessel. That's going to do massive damage against these boxed units. Wow. That was a massive irradiate. I think that's down to just 2 Mutalisks. So, again, heavy damage done by the Zerg, but he has been pushed back. The SCVs are still here. There's going to be a couple more turrets up, and this game is not over. I love this game. It's so much different. I feel like maybe, again, it's that I don't understand, but it looks to me like there's a lot of opportunity for comebacks, because twice here it looked to me like the Zerg was really doing a lot of damage. He shut down supply on this expansion for a long time. And then he destroyed a starport. He destroyed some SCVs and turrets with that box of Mutalisks. But the Terran was able to take out the 3rd of the Zerg in that time, so I don't know what's going on. And now there's a ton of lurkers coming out. Oh, big irradiate. Yeah. Is he going to separate effectively? He does. Okay. I guess, does Burrow? Nope. Burrow does not get rid of irradiate, but at least it's not affecting the rest of his units over here. And 2 Scourges are coming. Is he going to be able to find the science vessel? He's looking for it. No, those are going to get picked off for sure. That's okay. Some Zerglings. Still has 2 Mutalisks over here, just in case, but they're not going to be able to do anything to this base. The bunker is empty. Let's see, Zerglings. We have lots of Zergling scouts, just making sure there are no expansions going up that he's unaware of. We do have a 3rd going down for the Zerg again, but this time in a different location, so I'm not sure if that's wise. I guess there's an easy ramp this way, so it's not too far from the Zerg natural, but this one still seems more easy to defend to me, especially considering there's also creep there already. Alright, this is going to be it. The Terran player... Oh, nice. Plague. Oh, I forget what it's called, but that's such a cool move, which I thought they should have probably brought into StarCraft 2 as well, because that's really, really interesting, I think. I'm glad we're seeing it here. So the lurkers get in, set into position, and look at that. The siege tanks go down quickly. Defilers were definitely mismicroed over here. They've got too aggressive, but he did get another spreading plague. I know it's not called spreading plague. It's something along those lines, though. Plague swarm. Alright, so he managed to scare the Marines off enough that his lurkers could go and hold this part of the map, I guess. And now some Zerglings coming out. There's still another Defiler with full energy, so that can definitely deal some damage. But it looks like the Marines and medics are going to find the third base to the southeast. Those drones are going to go down quickly. That hatchery probably is going to fall. I don't think the Zerg's going to be able to go up this little ramp in order to kill this army. They'll just form a nice choke point and nothing's going to happen. So this is a dangerous looking army to me, though. It's only one Defiler. There are a lot of lurkers, though, and they seem to do a good job against this Terran player. Nice. Okay, set up. That that bunker's going to go down very quickly to this number of lurkers. Ooh. Oh, I like it. I like it. He sets it up so well. There's nothing the Terran player can do with this, especially with his army so far out of position. He does take down the hatchery, so that's something, but at the cost of his natural, again, there goes all his defenses. Looks like the turrets are going to go down. As soon as the turrets go down, then these Mutalisks, again, it's just two Mutalisks, I guess, but they can start going in. Wow, and this Defiler is just completely taking the bio out of this fight. This is so cool. This is so cool. Alright, good on the Terran, though. He's not letting our Zerg take a third expansion still. He's keeping the pressure on the third expansion. And there's not a whole lot he can do. The command center does lift up thanks to the observer over here. I'm sure they don't see each other's messages, though. And the lurkers have now entered the Terran base. The fire bats are dealing some damage. Sorry about that. The Marines are dealing damage. Some medics are in there. But it looks like they're really having a lot of trouble still with these lurkers. Still one in. Still going to get some picks. Still going to force some more reveals from the Terran player. Ooh, there's a Defiler in here, isn't there? Still more picks. Oh, this is looking really bad for the Terran player, I think. Granted, again, our Zerg doesn't have a whole lot going on at home. He still has two bases mining, though. He still has a bit of an army. The Terran has complete map control outside of his main, but he still hasn't cleaned up this attack. I'm shocked. The Defiler's going to go down soon. Okay, we've got two command centers, so it looks like he's doing a double expand here. The starport's back up. We have another science vessel, so that's big. Wow, very, very sneaky expansion from the Zerg here. This is interesting to me because I think it could be used for two things. It could be used for an expansion, or maybe he's just using it because he wants to have production so close to the Terran base. Maybe he wants to use it to try and like wall off a bit or hold some ground there. I don't know, but we have a big push coming in. It looks like from the Terran player. This is kind of exciting. I wonder if he's going to try and flank and split with the two groups. No, and we have more lurkers moving north from the Zerg player. So I think the Terran's going to have to defend. He's in a much better position to do it this time, keeping the Terran or the Zerg player further from his main. And so he's going to have to use more dark swarms. I'm sorry. I'll figure out the names as I go more. But yeah, he's not able to use, I think that was 1, 2, 3, 4 swarms used. Last time he was able to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and use the 4 to get into the high ground. So this time the Terran was situated a little further out, and that meant he had more space. Oh, more Mutalisks coming out, so that's... I guess this army's too strong for that number of Mutalisks to deal with. I wonder if they'll grow up with these two. They definitely should, but I don't know if they will. Let's see. Another expansion from the Zerg player. Some scouting from the Terran. He's going to see it right away, so that'll probably get canceled. Ah, the Zerg needed the gas. So he went straight for the extractor. That's a great play. Even if it gets canceled, he's stealing some gas from the Terran player in the future. Maybe minimal, unless it goes into like the super late game where all of this 5,000 gas is going to get mined. It's probably not that big a deal, but you know, those little edges do make a difference when it does go to the end game. So I kind of like it. I like the play. We see a Nidus Canal, so he is doing it for the proxy production. And Guardians. I love this game. I have not seen Guardians, God, in so long. I don't know. Do you see them a lot in Terran? Zerg versus Terran? Maybe. So they're pressing here. It looks like the Terran player is definitely getting rid of that third from the Zerg. He's not letting that happen. A nice irradiate, but the Guardian is separated from the others pretty effectively. I don't think this should be happening. I think Guardian's outrange turrets, so that's unfortunate. But I don't know if the Terran player is going to be able to bounce back from this. This feels one-sided. He still has his army here. Those Marines will do pretty well against Guardians. Irradiate looks like it's still doing pretty well against Guardians. Yeah, 2 go down. 3 go down. 4 go down. We have Wraiths coming out, so those will, of course, help against Guardians. They have no anti-air, so that's something. But now we have the Zerglings, Lurkers, and a couple Defilers moving in. I feel like this is just such a tough spot for the Terran player to deal with it. And he still has his army way down here. Canceling expansions, sure, but at some point you gotta protect yourself, I feel. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. His main is almost completely mined out. He's got some Zerglings and Guardians in there. A lot of swarms, but I don't know. The Terran has done a phenomenal job of keeping the Zerg on one base and moving his army around in there, but the Zerg has done an even better job of keeping the Terran on one base. And now these Zerglings are coming in from the Nidus Canal. There's another Defiler. This base is really getting saturated, and yeah, it looks like that's game. You see just medics left here, some SCVs being chased by Zerglings. The main is overrun. The Zerg is still just on 2 bases, but that's enough, I guess. That's all he needed. 3 bases. He's got 3 base gas, at least. And he did mine some from here. He tried setting up over here. Good fire back cancel. Terran player's trying to get his 3rd over, but I really don't see how there's any coming back at this point. He does have some... 2 upgrades are really solid on his biome versus 0-0, so he is going to melt through Zerglings for the rest of the game. But there's still even... Zerglings and Defilers and Lurkers in the main. There's nothing that can be done. There's no way. What's over here? Another expansion attempt from the Zerg. Terran's still being very proactive with his scouting, so that's good. You know, the guy's got heart. There's no taking that away from him, but I really feel like there's no coming back from it at this point. Another building goes down. Something else goes down. We have 3 science vessels, but they can't do anything because they have no detection. Well, sorry, they have detection. No damage output. Finally, the Lurker gets cleaned up. Looks like the Defiler will also be cleaned up right now. Huge. A Queen. Oh, okay. Is this bad manners now? Is he trying to infest the command center? Also, I don't know, but I assume infested command centers are not something you ever see in competitive play. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're like the key unit to winning Zerg versus Terran matchups, but I feel like it's probably not. Yeah, and J1 EMG calls the game. Zerg player takes it down. That was a very well played game by the Zerg, I think. I really liked seeing his Lurkers. I really liked seeing his Guardians. I think he exploited the map well. I think he used Dark Swarm really well. I hope it's called Dark Swarm. I apologize again. But that was fun. So now I have officially casted 2 Brood War games, or Starcraft Remastered games. One was a Terran versus Protoss, and now I've done a Terran versus Zerg. So I guess the next game I'm going to have to do a Zerg versus Protoss. But this was a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying watching the games. I'm going to keep watching the games, so thank you for checking them out. Thank you for comments, questions, criticisms, which have already been posted. Anything you want to let me know about, I'm happy to hear it. Again, thank you for listening, and have a great rest of your day.